Hey everyone, it's me, Sooner. It's good to see you all. I don't know why my hair looks so weird to me today. Maybe it's just me? Might just be me. It just looks for like some reason like I'm wearing a wig. Weird. Anyway, I don't know why that struck me, but it did. Um. Anyway, I came on to talk about a little bit of something that I was talking to a friend about today in regards to personal business, you know, somebody's personal business. And in the personal business slash employee business, I guess you could say, um, when someone's working for you and you don't want to make your personal business their business. That's what I'm trying to say. There we go. Um, I have a friend who is trying to get some services of sorts. I'm not going to get into detail because it's the sorts and whatever is their business. But certain services of within the medical realm, I'll go that far. And we were talking today, and she was saying she was really kind of skeptical and kind of hesitant and nervous to sign on to those services. And I had told her that because I'll talk about mine. I mean, I don't care. Mine is just basic stuff, so I can talk about mine. Mine is just my everyday life, so it's not really like it's real personal as to what I have done or what is done on a daily basis. Um, First, I will talk about mine, and then I'll get into what we were talking about, and then it'll make sense to you. I have every day, Monday through Friday, and every other weekend, so basically every day, um, home health helpers. People come in and help me with everyday tasks that I cannot all tend to by myself on my own. So they come in and they help me with the things that I physically cannot do on my own by myself. And those things are, you know, some of the things you would do at home for yourself, you know, everyday basic things. Well, they come in and they help me with those everyday basic things. And again, she was saying that she had some people like sorts um, come and talk to her about offering such stuff. And she was saying, like she's kind of hesitant, she's kind of nervous. Um, and I, because she said why, she told me why, and I said, well, those kinds of any kind of business that comes to you or works for you or works around you isn't supposed to know your business anyway. No businesses are supposed to know your business unless it's for legal reasons, for protectional, for your own protection, things of that sort. That's when you offer personal business. within yourself. If it's for stuff such as myself, things like what I do every day, they're not supposed to know your business. And if they're a really, really good business and really good staff, they'll stop you right in the mid sentence and say, "I'm sorry, but I really can't talk about personal issues within my work area." So they'll tell you right then and there that I'm sorry, but I can't speak of those things. But there are some that are like, oh, and wow, and oh, I didn't know that. And then the company comes in and calls you and it's like, well, such and so said this. And then I'm like, oh, did they? Hmm. Well, let me fix that. I'll be fixing that. Thank you for letting me know. So, see, I understand her concerns. And I learned that I can be very talkative. I'm a very people oriented, talkative person, as you all know. If I get comfortable around somebody, if I get to know somebody for a very, very long length of time, I'll get comfortable with that person, and I'm a talker. I'm a conversationalist. And sometimes I don't pay attention to what comes out of my mouth. And I've learned to stop letting things flow right out of my mouth about things within myself or within my home or beyond my home. I've learned not to do that anymore. And I've learned real quick not to do that anymore because I've had some help that thought it was okay to go back and do their little blah, 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 blah to the company. So the company would be concerned for me and call and be like, is everything okay? And I would have no idea at first what they're talking about. Then they would tell me, I'm like, oh, okay. So I'd have to clear that up and everything. So I've learned not to do that. But anyway, what I'm here to say is we they don't know what we don't tell them. So I explained to my friend today, I said, they're only going to know if you tell them. They're only going to know if you're a little too open with yourself sometimes. Guilty as charged. They're only going to know those things if you volunteer info. Guilty as charged. And I meant to tell her, and I forgot to tell her that sometimes we can do that without even realizing it and not mean to. We really didn't mean to, but it just happened. Um, but I told her they're not supposed to get into your business. They're not. They're not supposed to get into your business. What they do with you during the times they're with you are just those things. From the time they come till the time of whatever. What they do with you is just that, what they do. They're supposed to come in, do what they do, and whatever. They're not supposed to be like, oh, really? And oh my gosh, and oh, and you know. Mm-mm. And like I also meant to tell her, most good companies that believe that your home and your space is just that, your home and your space, they'll stop you right then and there and make sense. Like, and they're real good about it. They say, well, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but we're not supposed to talk about stuff within the home or whatever. And so, things like that. And so I was going to tell them that they're not allowed to, and they know that. Now, my company because of the employees I've had or have or whatever, don't seem to really pay attention to what they're telling other people that the one person told you and didn't know you were going to go and tell everybody else. So, I'm here to tell you if you are like me and you use these kind of services and you're afraid to, or you're nervous to, or you're because of that situation, don't worry. Don't worry because most, like I said, are not allowed to do that, and they know that, and they'll even tell you. If they respect your privacy and your space in your home, most will say, like I said, "Oh, I'm not allowed to speak with the person about those things." Or they'll say, "Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but I can't get into that with you." So you don't necessarily have to worry about that. But if it does become where you do have someone that helps you, and even if you're not offering open information, but they seem nosy, you have a right to call right away to your company or to your business that you're using and say, "Hey, I have some concerns. I feel like this person is invading my personal business, my personal life. Um, how do I go about being appropriately direct and saying, I'd appreciate it if you just not do that." Um, you can certainly do that if you feel like whatever person you're around is becoming nosy, too nosy. I'm sorry, I think the dog went in. Hang on one second. One second. Okay, I'm back. She just wanted in real bad. Something must have scared her out there or startled her for a second. Anyway, like I said, if you have problems with a person who is either working around you, working for you, even in your home, um, and you feel like they're becoming too nosy, then you can say something to the company, to the office, to the employer, um, and let them know that I'm not comfortable with this. I don't really appreciate that. Is there a way I can go about this without losing my services and the person, but yet let them know that, hey, you're kind of stepping over the bounds? So you can do those things. I've had to do it a few times. I've even had to remind some of the people that I've had in the past, and some now, that, hey, if I say, oh, nothing, then it's nothing. Remember? Um, and, you know, so I understand my friend's concerns. I understand her apprehension and her hesitance to do so and going forward with these things, um, because it can be a little off-putting. It can be a little eh. And it can be a tiny bit nerve-wracking, because especially if it's a brand new person coming into your home that's going to help you or do whatever, and you don't know them, they don't know you yet quite well, and yet they start to be nosy. then yes, I can understand that. I can understand how that could be a little like I don't know. But like I said, most companies will tell you right off the bat, no, I'm sorry to hear that, but I can't speak of that within the home. Um, and they won't. They literally won't. That when they say that, that's that, and they drop it. Um, which I like, which I really like. I don't like when, even when you get to know them really well, and so all of a sudden they think they can know everything. No, no. Mm-mm. Just because I'm having conversation with you, just because I'm a people person, and just because I'm talkative, doesn't mean I'm gonna tell you, spill my guts the first time. No. And doesn't mean that I'm gonna tell you any personal information that I don't want you to know, that you don't need to know. That's for my ears and my only acknowledgement, none of anyone else's. And, I try to tell people if I want you to know it, I will tell you. I tell people all the time, if I wanted you to know, I would have told you. So must mean I didn't want you to know. Or it wasn't that important. So, for those that are thinking of getting into certain services or help with things and you're a little hesitant, you don't have to be. Because number one, it is your home and you have a right to feel comfortable around someone who even works for you in your home. Around them, you have a right to be comfortable in your own home around them. You have a right to know that when they come in, they will do their job, do it correctly, do as they're supposed to do it, and that'll be their day, and they'll go on. You have a right to feel like you don't have to worry about anything, that you're not having to do certain things, that you're not having because you worry that this person did it. No, you shouldn't have to worry about those things. You really shouldn't because they're not supposed to be happening. And if they are, then that's when we step in, you step in and you say, no, no, I don't think so. So, and I've also had to do that. Like I said, I've had to do that a couple times where I've had people who think they can just be like, oh, really? And, hmm. And you can tell the difference, and you'll be able to. You'll be able to tell the difference as to when someone is actually listening to you when you're having conversation versus when someone is listening to you and trying to gather your information for a reason or whatever you're saying for a reason. I've learned that too, and I've stopped that too. I've nipped that in the bud right away too. So what I've done nowadays is if there are things going on with me or around me, I don't speak of it at all. Now, if I don't look like I don't feel good and you ask me, oh, well, how are you today, Miss Bell? And I'll say, oh, yeah, I kind of under the weather. And that's all I'll say. If I feel that's all I want you to know. But because they are somewhat medically there for me, I will say a little bit more. I will say, oh, well, um, I'm tired, or, I'm kind of feeling under the weather. I might have a little fever. because they are supposed to take notes down if they notice things that aren't right, which, of course, you're supposed to. Um, so I might do that for their notes, but as far as just giving, no. So if I want to tell you what's going, I will to an extent. If I don't, I'll just say, oh, just a rough day or a hard day. And I'll leave it at that. I won't go into it. I'll just leave it at that. And some will be nice enough to respect them and go, okay. And then others will get you to tell them what's real. And I'm like, try to get you to tell them what's really going on. When what's really going on is none of their business. Or none of their knowledge, need acknowledgement. If it's not about them, then they don't need to know. So, but again, you really truly don't need to worry about that usually. You don't. And if you feel you do, then you can go to your company or your whatever you go through or whatever you use or and say, I have a problem. I don't know how to go about this, but this is what's going on. And they can either help you to get through to that other person that, hey, I'm glad you're here for me and I'm glad you're helping me, but my business is just that when you're here, my business. So, and there's lots of ways to kindly and appropriately let them know that, hey, you know, I like you're kind of going over the line here, or no, I can't really speak of that with you because for this is not medically for you to know because it has nothing to do with medical with me at the moment. Um, so some have really been okay, and they've really been like, "Oh, okay, well, hope you have a better day, Miss Bell." And I'm like, "Thank you, me too." And they'll go on about their day. And then, like I said, I've had the company call me and say, "Oh, well, Miss Bell, are you okay? I've heard that da 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 da." And I'm like, "Really? Is that so?" Oh, thanks. Thank you for letting me know. So I've done that. And I've learned, and it's worked so much better, not I had to remind myself, and I'm doing a lot better, to only divulge what I want you to know, and that's it. And then stop. That's it. Carry on with something else and stop. And I'm getting better at that because I've learned not to do that anymore. Um, and like I said, we do it and we don't realize it because we're just having conversation, but we don't realize we're being a little too conversational and don't realize it. So we all do it. We just don't realize we're doing it when we're having conversation with somebody or when we're talking to somebody. And I guess with me, I never realized that I was doing that until I'd get a call that they'd heard this myth. And I didn't say they could divulge anything to anyone else. So that's when I learned I can't do that no more, anymore. I know. Oops. So sorry about that. Um, so I learned, and I'm glad I learned. I'm glad I realized it. Oops, my fault. Shouldn't have done that. And I have. I've said yes, but this was my fault. It came out in conversation. I didn't mean it for it to, and that's my fault. And then it's handled and everybody goes about their day. Or it's not brought up anymore. They just say, oh, okay. And they just let go. But they also tell them that just because I accidentally opened my mouth and said something doesn't mean that they can come to them and tell them what I said that had nothing to do with them. That was something they didn't even need to know. So I've been lucky that way lately. But anyway, if you ever feel like you don't know what to do and you're going to try those kinds of services because you need them or whatever, if you remember my channel and you've seen my video, please leave a comment down below. Or if you say, can I speak to you through inbox or whatever, I have no problem with that. I will say most certainly that is perfectly fine. Of course, I am okay with that. We can certainly do that. Or if you have questions and you're not sure about how to go about certain things, like even starting and what questions to ask this company and how to go about it and what to look for and judge a character between you and the employee with that's going to work with you. You know, if you have any questions about that kind of thing, such as home health, and you're about to start it because you need it or someone within your family needs it or a friend may need it, don't hesitate to ask. Do not hesitate to ask me because I've been there. I've been there for many years now, and I know how this works. I know the ins and outs. I know who you pretty much will have a good repertoire with, with, and who I think I need to be careful around. Um, I can can do that. I can sense those things. So if you have any questions, any question, whether it's about personal issues in that, within that, if it's about how to go about the whole thing, what do you ask, how do you get it, um, how do I qualify for that, what makes me qualify for those things, um, anything like that, you can ask me. You can let me know that, hey, I have a couple of questions. And if you don't want to leave it in the comments below, just in the comments, say, hey, can I come to you about this privately? And hey, I have no problem with it. I'll say, of course, no problem. That's fine. And we can do that. Because I know, not everybody needs to share that kind of thing. Not everybody's comfortable with that. Because they may feel a little bit uneasy or they may feel a little bit embarrassed when they really don't need to be, but that's how they feel for a while. So I can understand that. I can understand why you would want to speak of those things privately with a person. And I get that. I understand. Believe me, I understand. Um, so while my vlogs are usually makeup or beauty related or about my day, today's wasn't like that at all. Today's was very different. Today's was about these things and how to still get help that you need, but keep that separate of your own life, your personal and um, off the clock life with them. Um, so yes, like I said, they are not supposed to get that way. They're not supposed to get nosy, and they're not supposed to get in your business. And if they do become that way, then you just go to the office, call the office, talk to the company, and say, hey, I think I've got an issue here, and I really could use your help. How should I go about this? Um, they'll either help you or they'll act like it is what it is and there's nothing they can do to help you. But usually they'll help you. um, so again, if you all have any questions, any concerns, anything like that about how I handle it, how I deal with it, how I do things, what does it entail to do those things, to get signed up for that kind of thing, please don't be afraid to ask. Please do not be afraid to comment down below and say, I'm interested, how do I go about this? And I'll tell you. Because I don't mind answering the comments I get as long as they're positive, as long as they're related to myself or to the video itself, and they're positive. I don't mind replying back, and I will reply back. The only thing I do not reply to is negativity and rudeness, towards others that are also commenting my video. That I will speak up about that, but I will not reply to that person being negative because I do not allow that on my channel. And I've made that known a couple times. In whatever video I'm doing, whatever topic I may be speaking of, I make it known that you can leave comments, but they must be productive, they must be related to with the video, and they must not be negative or have any negativity towards them. And if they do, then you need to unsubscribe because I don't have time for that. And I don't want to waste your time when I don't have time for that myself. So, sorry about that. Anyway, I know I'm not sick. I'm better. I just don't know why I'm doing this right now. One of those things. It's a sooner thing, I guess. um, so again, I just wanted to come to you today about those things, and because I'm sure we've all been through it. Anybody who needs this kind of help or is interested in this kind of thing and does not have this kind of service or does not know about it that much and doesn't know how to go into it with an open mind or with ease and confidence, I want you to know that you can go to them and you can come to me as well if you feel like you need to talk about some certain things pertaining to that. Please do, because I will help you the best I can. And I will actually tell you if I don't know the answer, if I don't know the information, and I couldn't figure it out or couldn't find it through research for you, I'll tell you, oh, I'm so sorry. I really don't know about that kind of thing. Um, and I'll tell you, I'll let you know that I'm so sorry. I don't know how to help you about that. Because in that way, I'm not making you think that I did and then I don't actually know. You know what I mean? So, oh, and I'm also thinking about doing a Q&A of myself. If you have any questions about me, if you've ever wondered anything about me, if you ever wanted to ask me something and been afraid to ask, anything that's relative to me, um, within logic, not negative or too personal, I will answer. So I was thinking about doing a Q&A. So leave a comment down below if you'd like to see a Q&A, and I will be glad to do one for you all. I have no problem because then that helps you get to know me and me get to know my subscribers, which I think is fun, which I would enjoy, and I would hope you would too. Um, So yes, I've been thinking about doing that a little while now. So if you see this video and you've actually wanted to know something about me or been curious or wanted to ask but hadn't because of you're afraid for whatever reason, first of all, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to come up to me or write me a little inbox or a comment. If you're curious about something, if you wonder something or didn't know something about me that you're just curious about, um, that's that's fine. I have no problem. And like I said, I had no problem doing a Q&A. I would love to do a Q&A. So, like I said, right, leave comments down below whether you would like me to do one of those for you, and I will gladly do one. And if you do, and if you've let me know that yes, we are sure, oh, that would be cool, then once you have let me know and you want me to do that, then leave some comments in the description box. Questions. Leave your questions either in my inbox, or you can, if you have Instagram, you can direct message me with those questions, and then I'll do it here, or just leave a couple questions down below. And as I'm doing that, I will, once I get them, I'll write them down and I'll do it. Um, Again, they have to be within logic. No extremely personal questions, please. Um, no negativity with those questions. And just respect other people's opinions of that video. Please respect others when watching that video and their comments and their opinions and thoughts. That's all I ask. I don't mind doing a Q&A, but that's all I ask. And if you do not agree with their opinions and thoughts or comments, then please just agree to disagree. That's all I ask as well. And leave it at that. Because I will not allow and I will not tolerate or put up with negativity on my channel. I will not do it. I will not allow it. It will not be done on my channel. Because I have no problems letting you go immediately for those reasons. I have no problems doing that. So I will kindly do a Q&A, but just know that I will do that, but within reason of this Q&A. Related to this Q&A, if you choose, or if you let me know that yes, we'd like you to do one, that's fine. But please make these questions related to this Q&A about me. And there's to be no negativity during that. None. I don't care if it's through comments. I don't care. No. It's not happening. But I can't wait to see what y'all think. If you really would like to, then by all means, I am ready. I am ready to let you know a little bit about me. And just so you know, what I feel is too personal or what I think is too personal, I will not answer. And I'll tell you, I'm sorry I cannot answer that. But otherwise, I don't have a problem answering questions. I don't have a problem letting you know a little bit about me and what, you know, like, for example, what color I like, what's my, things. I don't mind that at all. I like those kind of things because I think they're fun. I really do. That gives you as a subscriber to me a way of getting to know me a little better, and me as the channel person letting you into my life a little bit and getting to know me more. So it's fun. It's something I've been wanting to do. I'd like to do it. So again, if you would like me to do a Q&A, please leave your comments down below and let me know. And if there's enough responses that say yes, we would like that, or yes, we think that would be fun. If there's enough responses like that, then yes, I'll do it. Um, and even if there's not a lot, I'll still do it for the ones that wanted me to do it. I'll still do it because you still all have a right to know about me if you want to know about me, whether everyone else that watches does or not. The ones that do have a right to get to know me. So that's what I'll do. Um, so I don't want this video to get any longer than it is. So I'm going to get on out of here and get this up for you all, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. Again, if you have any questions about this video, please put them in the comments down below, and I will get to you as fast and as efficiently as I can, and definitely within a timely manner. I promise. I will get to them. I absolutely promise. If it takes me a little while, it's because I got wrapped in. I got stuck doing something and I couldn't get to them right away, but I will get to your comments and I will reply to them. I promise. Promise. So with that, you all take care. Have a good evening, and I hope you're doing well. Again, I'm sorry I didn't give you the time when I started. It is Wednesday, the 25th, I believe, of January. Yes. It is Wednesday, the 25th of January. It is 4:40 p.m. So you all take care, and I will catch you later. Bye-bye.